Running through a virtual world, the wind searing against one's digital face never seemed like a difficult task to incorporate. However, it wasn't until Mirror's Edge was first showcased in 2007 by Digital Illusion CE or DICE that we realized how tough it actually was. The concept itself was simple, a platformer through the eyes of a parkour artist, incorporating modern-day architecture and levels with real-world sensations like vertigo, ballads, and motion blur. It was unlike anything we had seen at the time, and a vast departure from what DICE usually delivered with its Battlefield series. Mirror's Edge would be the story of Faith Connors, a runner who operated in a city littered with surveillance. The setting was a far-flung future marred by dystopia where citizens had given up their right to privacy for the sake of security. As a runner, Faith was part of a group that delivered physical messages, bypassing the spying done through calls and emails, taking to the rooftops of the city in the process. Naturally, runners were outlawed, but Faith would be caught up in a plot to save her sister Kate, a police officer framed for murder. The marketing for Mirror's Edge was quite extensive. EA had Swedish artist Lisa Miskovsky sing the main theme, Still Alive, and then commissioned several artists like Benny Benassi, Junkie XL, Paul Van Dyke, Teddy Bears, and Armin van Helden to remix the same. Swedish musician Solarfields was also brought on for the soundtrack. A comic book adaptation penned by Rihanna Pratchett and illustrated by Matthew Don Smith was also released. The game itself would feature several animated cutscenes, breaking up the action in interesting ways. From the outset, DICE wanted to explore a totalitarian government that was more about blissful compliance rather than outright oppression. Mirror's Edge took themes from the likes of Firefly and Serenity and presented Faith as a blank slate of sorts for the player to experience the story. In reality, writer Rihanna Pratchett, daughter of Terry Pratchett and lead writer for the Tomb Raider reboot series, including Rise of the Tomb Raider, was brought in late to pen a script. According to Pratchett, the script was hacked up in the late stage and all of Faith's in-level dialogue was removed in the process. As a result, when Mirror's Edge released in 2008 for PS3 and Xbox 360 and 2009 for PC, it was criticized for its relatively weak story. Of course, other criticisms included frustrations with its controls and overall movement, despite the aesthetics, soundtrack, and novel concept. Projected sales of Mirror's Edge were expected to be 3 million copies. By February 2009, sales had only totaled just over 1 million. This reached 2 million copies by October 2010 and roughly 2.5 million units by June 2013. Even though Mirror's Edge received some praise for its innovation and thinking outside the box for a traditional platforming concept, the series wouldn't receive a sequel anytime soon and would essentially go dormant until June 2013, when a new Mirror's Edge would be announced. Hilariously enough, the tagline at E3 2013, when footage of Faith's return was showcased, was "Releasing when it's ready." The game was billed as a reboot and origin story which would essentially tell the tale of Faith's rise as a runner. The following year, DICE would showcase prototype alpha footage for this Mirror's Edge title and began teasing its open-world implications. Rihanna Pratchett was not involved with the story, but artist Solarfields had returned for the original soundtrack. In 2015, DICE finally gave the new Mirror's Edge a name, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, hinting at the change that Faith would introduce into the dystopic city of glass around her. At E3 2015, we finally got a look at the central theme, characters, and plans for the game's combat. Over the months, DICE would reveal more information about the changes to combat and the free running, further emphasizing the open world and choosing one's own path. Runner vision had been significantly revamped from the original and now indicated a clear-cut line for players to follow through levels, not unlike the GPS and waypoint systems seen in many other open-world games like Grand Theft Auto. In October 2015, Mirror's Edge Catalyst would be delayed to May 2016. A closed beta for the game would begin in late April 2016, but the game was subsequently delayed again to June 7th. It's now finally available for Xbox One, PS4, and PC, and for all her flaws, Faith Connors is once again on the run. What are your thoughts on the Mirror's Edge franchise? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time.